Hi, Taurus. Welcome. End of June, leading up to July. Let's see what is in store for you. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Taurus consciousness. I have already shuffled the cards and meditated on them. So let me pick your first row. The first message is Four of Wands. We have the Page of Cups. We have the Two of Cups. The second row of Seven of Wands, High Priestess, the Hermit. The last row is Ace of Wands, Knight of Swords, and Queen of Cups. Wow. Knight of Swords and Queen of Cups seems to be very face to face here. Let me clarify some cards for you. By the way, each card is important here. The ones that I did not clarify does not mean they are not important. Every card is important. I just want to see some in context. So clarifying the High Priestess with Deliranti, La Donna di Servizio, and Constanza. Clarifying the Page of Cups with La Fedeltà, Disgrazia, Sospiri, clarifying the Ace of Wands with La Nemica, Giovanni Fanciulla, and Stanza. Queen of Cups is clarified by Mercante, Dottore, and Denari. I also want to clarify the Hermit energy. Prigione, La Allegria, and Amalato. Okay, so let's see what is going on here. I'm going to start from the central message, which is the High Priestess. But my first feelings from this reading is first, it feels like people are drifting apart in your life at some point, but actually they don't. I think there is a person you are circling around each other, and I see both people do not express things openly. There is affection, there is attraction, but there is also hesitation, silence. I need to hold my craziness. There is pride, some emotional fatigue. You know, which of you will going to move? Which of you going to move first here? Now, I feel this High Priestess more of like a mind card, like this cloud. I see like a very central mind energy. It's really actually a very abstract energy, I feel. The mind here is like, I mean, the energy. There is a person, I think, who does not know what to believe anymore. They are not reacting impulsively, though. Maybe they continue to show up. They continue to what they believe is right, and they remain present. Even they carry maybe some confusion, and they are there with their presence of their mind, of their energy. Um, well, this person have all the answers? No, I don't think so. This time, I don't think High Priestess has all the answers, by the way. But this person, this mind is also not gonna expose everything they know or they just feel. There is quite endurance here, Taurus. So someone is waiting here. This can be you, this can be them. They believe time will reveal things, and forcing a situation can't reveal anything. I think this sets some kind of emotional tone for the whole reading. And I think a relationship here is trying to find its way back. They have been through a lot. Um, it wants to go back towards the emotional safety that it had once. Of course, not everything is resolved. Maybe one of the person wants to open the emotional door there. Um, and I think one person really remained loyal to their feelings, but life didn't hope as they hoped for. Disgracia. There were disappointments. Yeah, this one of the persons has been left like longing for something instead of living the relationship that they have imagined, maybe so speedy. So yeah, this is your emotional connection for the end of June. And remember, Mercury retrograde will be here too, so it's gonna we're gonna go back to some people and events from different life areas, depending your charts. To me, this definitely feels like a relationship where people couldn't let go of whatever it interrupted by. This thing didn't erase any feelings. It maybe created maybe distance or some unfinished emotion. But I think people are standing here with the possibility of reconnecting each other. Maybe there is this desire to rebuild something stronger. They don't want to pretend nothing happened. You know, there is a lot of feeling gone to this. And I think someone has really spent a long time defending themselves emotionally. They also refuse to reveal everything that has been happening inside. And someone, I think, finally gets this glimpse of relief, maybe after feeling trapped for some long times. But the isolation maybe lasted a bit long here. It has already taken an emotional toll on them. So one person is really carrying this situation, maybe alone, like very long time, more than they should have. They convinced themselves that they could manage things in silence. They kept everything inside, uh, like waiting for clarity to come. But the longer they stayed, I think, emotionally isolated, the heavier the burden became. So to me, this is like a bit enough is enough at this point. So because staying silent is no longer protecting anyone, it's just making the situation harder. That's why we have the Ace of Wands here. Boom. So now this end of June, then everything starts to moving. Um, However, how it starts to move, there is a conflict or opposition. And through this, we have the woman enemy, the younger lady, the young woman card. I mean, there is a new beginning, but something maybe initially looks like an obstacle first, but it is really pushing someone um, into a different emotional space. And like life, if it closed some doors, it opens one. So um yeah, and Knight of Swords energy uh, is again a very mentally loaded card. So someone I think here reaches out, but to me there is a bit confrontation here, Taurus. And by the time we arrive, Queen of Cups, the emotional atmosphere really changing. And this Queen of Cups finally approaching the situation very realistically. I think Doctor here telling me there is this diagnosis of something. They do not chase fantasy. Um, Mercante is like they're asking what actually has value here, what can genuinely can be built, what deserves my investment, like really this wisdom replaced with the impulse of the Knight of Swords. And once like one person stops hiding behind the fear or hesitation, the entire dynamic really changes here. So you may have a conversation, a decision, maybe a direct action. This is really creating momentum. I also see, I like when people try to build up something outside of fantasy, which can actually survive. Yes, feelings, of course, they are still important, but I think people are by the end of June looking like for things more tangible. Maybe this is what the Capricorn full moon is also going to teach us. We want things to be more dependable. We want things to be reliable. And from the very beginning, I think someone always wanted stability here. But they have had to fight much harder for it than anyone realizes. Um, and then silence and yeah, I mean, enough reflection here is really serving its purpose. And the next lesson is not more about waiting, really. But I think everyone understood what waiting was actually trying to teach them. We have Virgo energy here, Cancer, Aries. So these are some energy. And I think, uh, I will tell you something, Taurus. What is really emotional security in my life? I have oftentimes questioned this as a Cancer person with a Taurus moon. Um, I always question this, and I think security. I mean, emotional security that does not come from knowing every answer. I think it comes from finally allowing genuine feelings to be seen. Um, and with this connection, I think it never fully disappeared. Um, even there was silent times. I think it simply waited until both people were emotionally ready to approach it maybe differently. So yeah, and sometimes one person they start to protect themselves so much that they also block the very connection they still want. And I think this energy and this Capricorn full moon Taurus is going to remind us what we actually had, what we had. And we're going to see the emotional costs of things, like what we have lost. But then we're going to replace the hesitation with some tangible things. So to me, that's a real shift. Congratulations. Thank you so much for joining me, Taurus. If you have a personal tarot question, you can join me in my live streams called Karo is answering your tarot questions. If it's your first time, check the description box below to see how things work, operate in our channel. And I will read for you in the shortest time possible, hopefully. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.